Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 21 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it's early morning on September 2nd. Last episode we harvested our potatoes and I started turning our potato field around. We still have lots to do here this month. We have harvesting to do down at TFS's. Can't remember, I think there's two fields ready, one for sure, and we're obligated to help Neil with his harvest as well. And I want to turn our potato field around. Now, we could do that in the spring, but the reason I want to do it this month is while we have this tractor here, because it'll allow us to do it with a little bit larger equipment. So before dark, what I did yesterday was I grabbed TFS's mulcher, and if we jump up here on these bales, you can just see our field over there, that little strip of white. So I got it mulched, and then I went and borrowed Neil's lime spreader and got the lime spread on it. And I rented this 4-meter subsoiler from Ben that he had sitting down there. Now, we wouldn't have enough horsepower in our John Deere to handle this, although I think we probably could have used one of TFS tractors, probably would have handled it. But this tractor here certainly will. And we'll also borrow the rock picker because it uses a bit more horsepower, and this tractor is ideally suited to that. So that is why we're doing that this month, just while I've got this big tractor. So we might as well go ahead and get started. Now this will speed this process up considerably, because like I said, 4 meters wide versus our 2-bottom plow that's sitting over there. Let's just swing around here. You can see there's our potato harvester sitting there. I don't have enough room to put it under cover right now. I mean, I could put it in our big shed, but it would be a bit of a nuisance. But that's what I'll probably do for the winter time, is I'll move things around, but it's going to take up a lot of room. What I was thinking we might need to do is actually demolish this existing shed we have here and put a larger one in. Might make sense. But I never thought of that when we leased that. We really don't have a proper place to keep it. So I think what we'll do is we'll definitely show this because it's something new for us. And we'll probably work on the harvest down at TFS's, and then helping Neil out with that last harvest. I'll likely do that off camera because I think we'll be out of time by then. And all I'm going to be doing is carting for him, and we've showed that quite a bit. So just so we can move along, I guess, the next month, because we've more harvesting to do then. The corn should be ready down at TFS's to harvest. There's our friends, the stones. So this is a subsoiler, so we can use that instead of plowing. But it does leave a cultivated texture. But we do get credit for plowing. Only thing is, a piece of gear like this you can't use for plowing contracts, but for this it'll work just fine. Now, try not to drag through those trees too much. I know there's been a little bit of a break in the episodes in the last week from normal, but I was a bit under the weather. And I've mentioned about that chronic cough I had. Well, anytime I get a little bit of a cold or anything, it pumps that into overdrive, so just didn't bother trying to record. Just too difficult. We'll get back in the swing of things here. This is going to be considerably faster. Probably could have used a front weight on the tractor for this operation, but it'll get the job done. It would be nice to have a tractor about this size on the farm, that's for sure. Make life a little easier. That was just about perfect timing for Ben to leave this with us. Couldn't have come at a better time, I don't think. I have to try and think of something to do with all these rocks we're accumulating. Even if it's just to haul them away so they're not in our road. We really don't need a pile of rocks in our yard too terribly bad. Summer's coming full swing here in Alberta now. Starting to get some pretty nice days. So I think you'll find I had been doing about 3 episodes a week. I think that's going to drop down to about 2 episodes a week now for the summer. Come winter time, I may pick that back up. Now, if you've been following Comlands series at all, which just wrapped up, you'll know that there is a new series coming. I have been doing a little bit of work on that, getting set up. Probably be another week or so before the first episode comes out. Well, I tell you, doing these potatoes really has worked out well for us. I can't really take the credit for that. As you may recall, that was largely my wife who came up with that idea. But it really has worked out well. Well, I will carry on with this. We're just about half done already. So that's not bad at all. I'll go and pick up that rock picker and get the stone off of here, and then I will meet you down at TFS's. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll use this tractor and our trailer, and then one of TFS's tractors and his trailer to cart. And so I'll get that all set up, and we'll bring you back in, and we'll do a little harvesting down there. So we will catch up with you then. See you in a little bit. Well, we are harvesting, but obviously not at TFS's place. And no, I am not lost. While I was working on our potato field, Neil called, and he got called away, some type of family emergency apparently, and asked if I could handle the harvest on my own. And in return, what he said we could do is use his grain truck to do the carting at TFS's. So I thought we might as well get this one done first. It's, well, it's not even noon yet, and I think I can get both harvests done this afternoon. I don't think they'll take that long. Neither field are all that large, so should be okay. But I can work on into the evening if I have to. Now you can see we're dropping the straw swath there. We don't need to worry about that though. Apparently Neil has made arrangements with Sims. Sims wants the straw, but he's going to come down and pick it up and take care of it himself. So nothing for us to worry about but getting the harvest in. So we're just dumping directly into the truck. Neil doesn't have an auger wagon or anything like that, but really no need. The fields aren't that large. We can deal with that, no problem at all. Now obviously I did finish up our potato field. So it's all ready for planting next spring. And while I was busy subsoiling it, I realized I think TFS had a plow we could have used. And in fact, maybe didn't even we use it once? I don't remember now. But I was already committed. So our money has gone down a little bit because I did send the rental for the rock picker and the subsoiler off to bed. So that's why our money has gone down. It only cost us $400, so. But I could have saved a little bit of that if I had remembered that TFS had a plow. I think Neil's certainly going to have more than enough barley here for his chickens. I imagine he can sell some of this off. In fact, we should probably buy a little bit from him for our chickens, come to look at it. I'll talk to him about that when he gets back. We'll buy a few thousand liters of them so we have chicken feed. Now we have just the one field that TFS is to do, barley as well. The canola is not ready, and I think that's Neil's got that small canola field over there as well. But as far as I know, from my conversations with him, our obligation ends when we're done this harvest. Doesn't mean, of course, if he asked us, we wouldn't come and help him with that canola harvest. It's only the neighborly thing to do. And I honestly don't mind driving Neil's nice, messy equipment. So after this, we'll just have the corn harvest at TFS's, and he's got a small canola field as well. And once they're done, we'll be cruising through the winter again. Can actually do this in cab with these smaller harvesters. Pretty easy to do. Yeah, it's a little quieter too. Now I don't know how many hoppers, combine hopper pulls that truck will hold, but I guess we're about to find out. Certainly don't think it's going to hold this field's worth of barley, that's for sure. So we'll have to set up the augers on whichever bin is available. Now next time we come down here, unless we're down to help with that canola field, things are going to look a little different because there's going to be a big sheep pen up here on this end of the field. I know he's planning on doing that yet this fall, from what I understand. But these are going to be sheep he's going to raise for wool. He's getting enough sheep milk to keep his production going with that pen he has, so he's going to expand into doing some wool. Well, I'll carry on with this until I get the truck full, and then I'll bring you back in, because I don't know that we've done used the augers in the bin system together here yet. So when it comes to time to get that set up, I'll bring you back in. So I'll see you then. Well, there we go. That is a full truckload, 22,000 liters. That is nearly 3 full hopper loads on the combine. Now I have identified the silo that has the barley in it, and I've hooked onto the auger that Neil uses for putting grain into the silo. But this particular auger is not self-powered. It actually runs off the PTO of the tractor, so we need to leave the tractor hooked up all the time. Now, I've not really done this. Neil's always looked after this, but he gave me some instructions. First thing is we need to unfold the auger, and probably need to raise it up. And now we just simply need to back it up over the opening in the top, which is right in the middle. Now, the only way we can really see if we're in position is to use construction mode to take a look. Oh no, we got to go further back, but it looks like we're lined up pretty good. So just back a little bit more. We'll try that. Oh, well, that probably would work, but we can go just a hair. Now, position the chute. Actually, you know, that might not work too bad there. That angle, yeah, I think that'll work. Now we need to open the cover up on top. And Neil showed me where that is. It's around, there it is, around here. There, we should be good to go, theoretically. Now we'll just back the old truck up. And if all goes well, we'll have grain going in the bin. Oops, cut that little sharp already. Here we go. Now, perfect. Oh, I think we need to be back just a little bit more because as the box tips up and the gate moves ahead a little bit. There, and just like that. So we'll have one more truckload roughly here, and then we'll be done, and we can move down to TFS's and get his taken care of. So that all went pretty smoothly. Like I said, I haven't had to do that before. Neil's always looked after that. Well, I guess there's no sense leaving the tractor running here while we're doing this. Shut it off. I'll head back to the field and I'll get the rest of the barley off, and this time I will meet you down at TFS's and we'll work on his barley haulers. So we will catch up with you in just a little bit. Well, we are down here at that often talked about barley field of TFS's. It's what, 2:30, and we started Neil's field at about 1:30, so what, that's 3 hours. So that's pretty much what this field's going to take then. In-game time is 3 hours. I've left the time set to 3 times the whole time. Now at Neil's, I didn't put all his equipment away yet. I thought if I had to do something in the dark, I'd rather do that in the dark, and that I would get down here and get this harvest going for on TFS's here. So seems pretty close, pretty similar field, pretty similar size harvester. So we should be wrapped up here then by about supper time, is my guess. Now we got 52,000 liters off of Neil's field for him that we put in his silo. So we'll see what we get off of here. But this is all going into TFS's pig food production. With that production, once it goes in there, you can't get it back out. But before I started, I took a look at what there was left over. It's canola is what he ran out of, but there wasn't much of either of the other crops in there. Only around 5,000 liters of each. So actually, field sizes are pretty closely matched to what they need to be, as it turns out. You can see the straw swath is on, but TFS needs his straw for his pigs. So, excuse me, he's got a little loading wagon. We'll use that to pick it up afterwards. We'll probably take a little of that straw as well for our pigs. Because I'll check what he's got in his hayloft, but I imagine he has way more straw than he needs for the year, so we can snag a little of that for our use, I would think. And again, once we get all the pig food made, that'll have to be after the corn and canola is harvested, we'll get to sell some of that off again. Previously, as you may recall, TFS wasn't using all of his crops to make pig food. He was just kept enough and then sold the rest off. Per Neil's advice, we're going to turn it all to pig food and then sell the pig food off. But we only have 3 more months basically, and TFS should be back. And our work here will be done. So it'll be quite different because we were helping Neil this year and we were looking after TFS's place, and now we're going back to just our little patch. Now TFS said that we didn't need to worry about turning these fields around for him this fall, that he'd take care of it in the spring, but we'll have some time. I think we'll put some effort into doing that here towards the end of this month, because once we get these harvests done, we will be done until next month, so I think we can do that for him. Like I've said many times, we've done very, very well on this arrangement with TFS, so I don't mind putting a little extra back in. Well, I'll carry on here until we get the truck loaded up, and then I'll bring you back in and we will go and dump our first truckload into the pig production. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, there we have a truckload, 22,000 liters. We're just going to head around on the road to TFS's with a heavy truck. It's the easiest way to go. Pretty nice truck that Neil has here. Pretty much the ideal size for the farm that Neil has, or a farm that the size of TFS is, I would say. A little bit easier than what we had to deal with at Neil's place. Pretty nice production. And just like that, we're done. First load. Looking at where we're at in the field, I'm going to say that the Neil's and TFS's field are very close to the same size. So I suspect we'll have one more trip, full trip, and a little bit more after that. Anyways, I'll head back to the field, and we'll quit speculating on how much there is, or how much there's going to be, I should say, and just get it done, and then I'll bring you back in, and we'll know for sure. So we'll see in a little bit. Well, we're just pulling into TFS's yard here with the last of his barley, and 7,000 liters is what was over and above 2 complete truckloads, so that's 51,000 liters as compared to Neil's 52, so you couldn't get much closer than that if you tried. So they are very close to the same size fields. Of course, the soil makeup may be different and contribute to different yields, but still pretty close. Now, just going to run up here and check, make sure. Oh, I see it right there, right ahead of us, that he does have a loading wagon. So that's what we'll use to pick up the straw with and throw it in his silo. Right here is his straw silo. And that is the last job we have to do here on TFS's farm and our farm for the month. Now, like I said, I will mulch that field for him. Oh, excuse me, lost my voice there for a second. Neil always does his liming for him, so we don't need to worry about that. So we'll get it mulched. Little piggies seem to be doing just fine. And that's all we can do. So I will take care of that off camera. And when I see you will be next month. And we'll be back down here. I believe the corn will be ready. Corn and canola. And we'll get that taken care of. So, but for this, for now, I think we'll call this an episode. So if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode here on Bloomfield, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.